Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our panel. General Taylor, where is there overlap, based on your experience in government, between the role of INA and its responsibilities and the role and responsibilities of FBI's intelligence branch?
I think that they're inextricably tied together because of the nature of the FBI's authorities, the nature of INA's authorities. We can't do our job effectively without the FBI, and the FBI relies on us to work with state and local partners on a consistent basis outside of the JTTFs to ensure that that intelligence becomes a part of the overall intelligence that's available to the Homeland for decision making going forward.
Thank you, General. Appreciate that. You wrote an article last August, I believe, on the Lawfare blog and noted, quote, INA has differentiated itself by informing audiences not usually served by the intelligence community, but you also noted that INA's mission overlaps with that of other agencies. Where is there redundancy in the roles and responsibilities of the agencies that have mission overlap with INA that could lead to inefficiency or a lack of clarity about who has principal responsibility for critical missions?
I think when I wrote that article about mission overlap, it's complementary, not competitive. There are agencies that collect information that's of value to INA and to INA's customers, and rather than INA going out trying to collect that information independently, they should collaborate with those agencies to make sure that that information is available. So I don't see a whole lot of overlap as long as we are leveraging the rest of the IC and our law enforcement partners to ensure we're not duplicating work that's already being effectively done by our partners.
Thank you, General Taylor. And how do you think INA and the IC more broadly can do a better job of ensuring that there isn't duplicative or conflicting effort?
I think that's through governance of the intelligence community, governance of the Department of Homeland Security, continual cooperation or collaboration with our partners in the FBI, and certainly getting feedback from our state, local, tribal, and territorial customers of what they need and where those gaps are and addressing those gaps.
How would you describe the breakdown of responsibility? And let me ask the question this way. Which agency has principal responsibility for developing and analyzing intelligence with respect to cybersecurity threats that both public and private sector entities face? Which agency is principally responsible for that? Whose job is it above all others to develop intelligence with respect to cybersecurity threats, please, General?
Well, I think it's DHS has the primary responsibility in the Homeland. That partnership is with CISA and INA, but I also believe that there's a strong need for a close and collaborative relationship with the National Security Agency and the Cybersecurity Directorate of our intelligence organizations to strengthen the analytical capability that informs our domestic intelligence efforts.
Thank you very much. Ms. Patel, you mentioned in your testimony the need for INA to adhere to, quote, the highest standards when it comes to the protection of civil rights and civil liberties. Given the central role that INA plays sharing information, not just within the federal government, but also with state and local officials and private sector actors. You mentioned in your testimony instances during both Democratic and Republican administrations when, in your view, INA improperly collected or shared information about U.S. persons. I'd like you to comment, please, on why you think there may be a tendency for INA to cross this line, in your view, and how Congress might better define or constrain INA's roles, responsibilities, and authorities to ensure that the civil rights and civil liberties of Americans are protected.
So it's not just INA. Most intelligence agencies run into this problem. I mean, we've certainly seen this sort of starting with the Church Committee onwards, that there is always a temptation, there's mission creep, and bias always plays a role as well in intelligence collection. And these things are really quite challenging to solve. And I think the best way really is to really strengthen the civil rights and civil liberties mechanisms that are within DHS and to strengthen congressional oversight. I think, if you look at, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. I've suggested a few in my testimony, including having DHS CRCL actually clear INA's analytical products, as well as increasing audits of INA products by DHS for CRCL purposes. But there are additional ways in which that office can broadly be strengthened, which have been proposed, especially by people who previously worked in that office, such as, direct reporting lines to Congress, greater congressional attention to the things that CRCL produces, insisting on really specific reporting about CRCL problems in DHS as opposed to very generic stuff, which is what we've seen in a lot of the reporting. I think these are some of the ways in which INA can be more respectful of civil rights and civil liberties.
Thank you, Ms. Patel. With my remaining time, General Taylor, would you like to comment in any way on Ms. Patel's analysis there?
I think Ms. Patel's analysis is correct in the sense that strong civil rights, civil liberties oversight is key to effective intelligence collection and analysis in the homeland. I'm not sure I would agree that I need CRCL to clear intelligence products. I would see that as the responsibility of the intelligence officer who produced it, but to ensure that that product does not violate civil rights, civil liberties, or the policies of the department would be my way of stating it.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Ms. Patel. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member. I yield.
Thank you, Senator Ossoff. The chair recognizes Senator